Today we're looking at Cawgo, made famous by Brian Kibler, and it's a pretty nice deck. I've been playing it this week. It's really strong, really fun to play. The biggest feature of this deck is Squadron Hawk. It's what sets it apart from a lot of other decks. In Standard, you could think of Squadron Hawk as a poor man's Bitter Blossom. While not as powerful as Bitter Blossom, it does provide a remarkably similar effect, giving you an early board position with which to work against other control decks. Now against decks like Valakut and Eldrazi Green, you're probably going to side these out. But the idea is, against control decks, these little guys will give Planeswalkers a hard time. And if you're just sitting there, both of you are playing draw go, these guys will put a clock on your opponent, which really puts the pressure on. The deck has 4 Day Judgments for the aggro matchups, as well as 3 Gideons and 2 Elspeths. Elspeth is actually very effective in the later games in Standard. Most decks won't survive an Elspeth sitting on board for more than 2 or 3 turns. Aggro decks certainly can't get around the life gain and token generation she does. And even blue-black control just has a problem with constant threats being spit out by her if they don't have a way to creeping target kill it early. The deck features only 2 mana leaks. It's just because the deck has 4 spell pierces and 2 stork rebuttals and a deprive. The idea is that mana leak is not always the most powerful thing you want to be casting. Spell pierce is more effective against ramp strategies in the early game, and in the later games you just want to have that hard counter sometimes, so Stoke Rebuttal and Deprive are there. The deck also features 4 Preordains, which are effective with Squadron Hawks. You can make sure you don't draw any extra ones that you will be able to fetch out later if you have one in your hand already, and they just dig you down to your answers. The deck features 26 lands main deck, and there's a Tectonic Edge in the board. You bring these in against Valakut, and just gives you some more mana, or other control matches, you can just have some more mana. In the sideboard's got Celestial Purges, which are fantastic against vampires, and I think I bring in myself around 2 against blue-black control. It hits their Grave Titans or their Creeping Tar Pits. The deck also features a ton of white removal on the sideboard. It's effective against aggro matches such as Boros and Vampires. Oust is also a nod to Lotus Cobra, which the deck has a huge problem with. It's the biggest threat to blue-white control right now. You'll also see some more hard counter spells that you can bring in against Valakut and control matchups, as well as another Jace. And Sunblast Angel, which acts like the 5th Day of Judgment, but at the same time provides that body and is just really effective against a lot of cards that aggro can use to trump you, like Koth. So that's blue-white control and with Cawgo, and we'll see how this goes.